Hey guys, welcome back. I am going to do a part 2 of what was discussed in the Facebook class earlier today. So the part 2 is soluble versus insoluble. Again, I took a brief number of notes. I will be putting them onto Classroom, Instagram. This video will be on YouTube, so just be there. Rue came back to say hello to everyone. Okay, so when we are deciding if something is soluble or insoluble, we need to look at the anion. So in a compound, the anion is always the nonmetal, or the second element that's written. So if you look here at NaCl, Cl, chlorine, would be your anion here, and that's because it's a negative ion. It's the nonmetal in the compound. So we look at our anion, and then we go over to our solubility. Sorry, I put this onto Google Classroom so that you could see it a little bit better. But we look at our solubility chart over here. So once we're there, we find Cl, and we read that Cl is typically soluble, but Cl is insoluble when it is with compounds of Ag, Pb, and Hg. Okay, so when it's with silver, lead, and mercury, it is an insoluble compound. Otherwise, it is always soluble. So, again, here we see that we have NaCl, so we find Cl, go over to our chart, and then we decide, is it soluble or insoluble? Because Cl is in the soluble top of the chart, and this Na is not silver, mercury, or lead, we know that NaCl must be soluble. So next to NaCl down here, I can write soluble, and I didn't bring my marker, so I'm not going to, even though I could just get up and get it. But now let's look at CaCO3. Okay, so calcium carbonate, CaCO3. So again, I go over to my little chart, and I find CO3, which is right down here. So CO3 is always insoluble, okay? So that's under the insoluble part. So CO3 is insoluble unless it is with NH4, which is ammonia, or any alkali metals. So remember that alkali metals are this first group over here. So everything over here is an alkali metal. So we are looking at CaCO3. So I look for Ca. Seems like Ca is not in the alkali metals. It is in the alkaline earth metals, which is group 2. So, unfortunately, it's not fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know why I said that, but our CO3 is going to be insoluble because it is not with ammonia, NH4, or an alkali metal. I'm going to get my marker now. Okay, so I can write down on here NaCl, we said, was soluble. CaCO3, calcium carbonate, we said was insoluble. Now next, why don't we look at CaOH2, so calcium hydroxide. So if we are looking at calcium hydroxide, again, we need to go over, this is so difficult to do, y'all. Bear with me. I'll get better as time goes on. So go to our solubility page, and So we are doing, I don't even remember what I just asked you to solve. CaOH. So we gotta find OH, which is right here. And it says it is insoluble unless it is with NH4, an alkali metal, calcium, strontium, or barium. So OH is insoluble unless it is with one of these things. So I asked you to do CaOH2. So OH, we said, is insoluble unless it's with calcium or any of these other things, but your problem was calcium. Therefore, this one is going to be soluble. Soluble. Yay. Now the last one, let's look at AgBr, silver bromide, and we can see if that is going to be soluble or insoluble. So I go find the anion, which again is the second thing written down, so AgBr, that's going to be Br. So Br is listed right here under soluble. So Br is soluble unless it is with silver, lead, or mercury. So I asked you about silver. Therefore, silver and bromine, silver makes this now insoluble. So it was soluble, but because it's matched with silver, it's actually not going to be soluble. So that's going to be insoluble. So that's all we're going to do for today. So we have NaCl, calcium carbonate, calcium hydroxide, silver bromide, and their solubilities. So use that chart. I'm about to put an assignment onto Google Classroom. Please do the assignment, submit it using the Google form that is attached, and that will be due next Tuesday. I'm going to give you a week to do all of your assignments. Please let me know if you need any help. Subscribe to the channel, watch all of your Facebook videos, go on Instagram, do everything you need, and please let me know if you need help with anything, whether that be chemistry-wise or life-wise. You know I'm always here for you. Okay, have a good night. Chat soon.